Are you a home buyer wanting to know how to win in a competitive buying situation? I'm Holly McKhann, local realtor in South Orange County, and I'm going to share a few insights with you. I just had an amazing win for a buyer of mine this week where he won the bidding process against two other buyers, and he didn't have the highest price, and he certainly didn't have the most financial strength. So I'm going to share with you a broad overview of how I am successful representing clients to help them win in a competitive situation, and how sometimes they don't always have to be the highest price. So in case you haven't met me, I'm Holly McKhann, a local realtor, and I have fixed and flipped over 250 homes with my husband. And after we started that journey, I also got my broker license so that I can help other people buy and sell real estate. I love to help people not only be winning and coming out ahead financially, but also if they're open to doing fixer-upper purchases, or if they're selling a home that could be selling for so much more if we did some renovations to it. That is really fun for me, and I love helping my clients make more money in real estate. So definitely contact me if any of that speaks to you. So back to today's topic. I'm going to share with you the importance of having a realtor with great communication skills and strategy, and also being responsive and timely. So first of all, when it comes to communication skills, sometimes listing agents are just, shut down. They don't want to talk to you if you're a buyer's agent. And it's really frustrating if that's the case. And sometimes there is a bit of a language barrier here in Orange County. But most of the time, if a listing agent will take my call, I find it very helpful if I can find out from them what is important to the seller in an offer to them. So, and the one that just happened this week, the seller happened to have a notice of default filed against the property, which means he was behind in payments. He is starting down the path of foreclosure, and he was hoping to get a much higher price even than he listed for. But I knew that I could create and craft a good offer that this listing agent, who is pretty intelligent, I could tell they know what they're doing, would appreciate and be able to convey the benefit and value of our offer to the seller. So thankfully, the listing agent was a great communicator. He took my call. He explained, the situation, and I asked questions. Well, would the seller appreciate a quick close? Well, yes, he would. We really want to get it closed ASAP to stop all of this foreclosure proceeding. And I also asked other things. Would they appreciate if we could shorten our contingencies and things like that? So he was really great at responding to me, and that made my job a little bit easier. Sometimes they say, just give me your best offer. Just make it as clean as you can. And they don't really tell you what details are important. But make sure that your buyer's agent is not afraid to pick up the phone and find out what that listing agent and the seller are looking for. So secondly, it's very important to write a strategically crafted offer. So what does that mean? There's a lot of elements that go into a purchase contract or offer. The big main ones are contingency time periods. The California contract right now in December of 2024 defaults to 17 days for inspection contingency, appraisal contingency, and loan contingency. And there's a bunch of others, including insurance and HOA document review and things, but those are the big ones. And the one with the biggest risk to the seller is that inspection period, because during that time, the buyer can back out for basically any reason. It's their get out of jail free card. It's, well, we heard a loud barking dog and we just don't want to buy it because of that. Oh, there was a black cat that lives across the street and I don't like black cats. It can be anything at all that buyers cancel for. And then the buyer gets their full earnest money deposit back, and the seller has to go back out to market or go back to other potential buyers. So knowing that, the shorter you can reduce that inspection period, the least risk to the seller, and that is what the seller is going to be most interested in, especially if they have an intelligent, experienced listing agent. So we crafted the offer for this particular client I had this week by shortening the contingencies, and we even completely removed the inspection contingency. That I usually do not recommend to my buyers, but in this case, we were provided an entire inspection report and a list of the big items on it that the seller actually fixed. So there was a very intelligent listing agent. I'll say once again that he got the inspection up front and they did repairs up front for the big things on the report. Very smart of him, allowed us to remove our inspection contingency, which I know is unusual, but the other people in our competitive situation did not do. So when you're crafting that offer, we want to make it as attractive as possible to the seller in all aspects and areas so that you will shine as the most compelling buyer. Usually they want to see substantial financial strength in the form of a pre-approval as well as the down payment money. You want to show as a buyer your bank statements or investment accounts that show where your funds are coming for the down payment and the closing costs. And in this particular case this week, my client is a pretty recent college grad, maybe 6 months ago, and he didn't have a huge bank balance, but I conveyed to the listing agent, my buyer wants this tremendously. And you know why? Because he works nearby and there aren't any other properties for sale nearby. He's committed and he is going to see this through to the end. So even though he didn't have the most financial strength, I worked around that and I sold my buyer to the listing agent as the outstanding and best choice. And that helped him win in this multiple offer situation where the other people probably had larger bank balances and potentially more financial strength, but I conveyed my guy wants it and he is going to see this through and we're going to close really quickly. Last thing that's really important for your buyer agent to have as an attribute is being responsive. One time a few years ago, I was working on a deal for a buyer on New Year's Eve. And whenever I'm in negotiations, I'm always trying to get it done and signed and accepted and not draw it out. So it was New Year's Eve at 9:30 at night, and I was following up with that listing agent, making sure that they signed it to make sure that after counter offer, that all was accepted and that I could rest easy that night. And thank goodness we did, because that seller on that deal got an offer for $15,000 higher the next morning, higher than our offer, which means A, we probably wouldn't have been accepted. They would probably just gone with the other buyer. Or B, they would have said, okay, Holly, you and your clients have to match this $15,000 higher offer if you want to get the deal. So being willing to work on New Year's Eve at 9:30 at night, that saved my client $15,000 or even winning the deal. It could have been more because it could have gone up more in a bidding war. So being responsive, by text, by phone, and making sure things get done and signed as soon as possible prevents that problem of, oh, we'll sign it tomorrow. Guess what? Another offer could come in for a higher or with better terms. So it's really important once you have decided as a buyer you want a property that you get the negotiations done and the contract and counteroffer signed ASAP, because you don't want to lose it. So there you go. There's a quick summary and some little stories of my past experiences and my clients and how I've helped them win and how I help them save money and get the homes that they want. So if I could be of assistance to you or help either locally in Orange County or help you find another realtor, I've helped a lot of friends and clients by interviewing out of state and out of area realtors and helping find them someone who is as sharp and smart and dedicated as me, because I want to get them that same service. And there's a lot of realtors that are not as driven and motivated as I am, but I always make sure that I find my clients somebody that's going to serve their interests the best when they are moving or selling out of the Orange County area. If you're in Orange County, I would love to talk to you and be interviewed to represent you as a buyer or a seller. You can tell this is my full-time career pursuit and passion, and I'm in this to serve my clients to the best degree possible. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more great real estate content and videos.